Welcome back to CARPology TV. Now, if you're wondering why I look happy, warm and stylish, then that's because I'm wearing possibly the last fishing coat you'll ever need to wear. Now, the guys over at Catchdry have come out and I quote and said they have made the perfect waterproof fishing jacket. Well, stick around because we're going to see if jackets like this can keep up with the high demands of us carp anglers. Now, before I go through the tech spec on this, because as soon as I put it on, I can tell it's a high-end bit of kit, I need to feel that this jacket is fit for purpose, because being warm and being waterproof is great. But I tell you what, when I go fishing, I do a hell of a lot more than stand around in the rain or sit in my bivvy trying to stay warm. So first things first, does the jacket restrict me from casting and putting the rod back down on my alarms? And I'm happy to say no. I could cast the rods out with ease. There was no feel of discomfort or any sort of tightening around the material, feeling like it was going to rip at any time. Again, there was just no restriction, and bending it down and putting the rods back on the bobbins again was easy with no restrictions or no tightening of the material. Another thing us anglers do is stalking, general fish spotting and walking through brambles and trees and things like that. And I thought, because of the size of the jacket, will it get caught up on things? Does it snag? Will it rip? Because of the size of it, I thought I may have restrictions getting through trees or possibly even climbing trees. But I'm happy to say, and trust me, I wasn't very gentle with the jacket. Again, no restrictions. The jacket didn't get caught on anything and also didn't rip. Another thing us anglers do a lot when we're out fishing is getting up and down. So sitting down, crawling around on our knees, general movements like that, where we can't afford a jacket to go tight or restrict our movement. And I'm happy to say silly little things like sitting down and making a brew, the jacket did not cause me any restrictions. Now, another really important factor when you're looking at jackets like this is whether or not they are breathable, because let's face it, the second you get out of your vehicle on that car park, you're either loading your barrow or your head and tail around the lake to try and locate carp. And in scenarios like that, you can sweat. And if you sweat, it can be your worst enemy on those colder nights, because if you sweat, you will get cold. Now, in all fairness, I got to the lake last night reasonably late and I probably only had an hour or so of daylight left. So I had to rush around the lake. I was climbing trees, I was going through snags and brambles, trying to locate carp. As soon as I'd located a couple of carp in this bay, I ran back to the van, and at that stage I loaded the barrow, had to take the barrow around the lake, got to a peg which I really fancied, where I'd seen some fish, and all of a sudden something changed. I had to move the bivvy down, I had to grab the bed chair and move again to another peg. And basically through all this exercise, this jacket didn't let me down. Yes, I was very warm and needed a bit of air, but I didn't sweat. The jacket regulated my body temperature really well. Now, as far as jackets go, unless the heavens open, there's not much more I can really do with it. Maybe later I'll catch a fish and I can cover it in fish slime. But again, because the material is also a wipe clean material, that isn't going to cause a problem. It's an easy clean and the material won't absorb any odours as well. So the last thing you want is when you take your jacket home, it's stinking of fish, although sometimes that is a good thing. But on the fish front, do you know, we've all been there where we hold the carp out and all our cuffs get wet, and on some jackets the water seeps through to your undergarments, and as soon as your undergarments get wet, especially in the winter months and the cold months, you are fighting a losing battle, which rarely you win. So this jacket itself, the cuffs are like a bungee material, and they also have this really cool velcro strap which allows you to tighten it and loosen it when you need to. So obviously you'd loosen it to take it off, but when you are holding your fish up and you're holding that prize ready for your front cover mag shot, then you can tighten the cuffs down using the velcro to stop any water ingress getting through to your undergarments. Now, before I go full tech spec on this so you can make an informed decision about whether or not it meets your requirements, I just want to show you this. Now look at the inside of this jacket. Now the whole jacket is covered in this really nice, comfy, quick dry chanteuse fleece. Now this is throughout the jacket. As I said, it's also in the pockets. The only areas it doesn't have it is just on this little neck area here, which has a nice bit of micro fleece lining. just to keep your chin nice and cozy. And then it's got this massive camo oversized pocket inside for any essentials. And then all this fleece lot is then covered by this beautiful breathable membrane, which just helps regulate your body temperature. The hood is also fleece lined and has an extended peak with some adjustable toggles so you can keep it nice and tight around your face, protecting you from anything Mother Nature wants to throw at you. The jacket's got an easy slide, two-way waterproof zip down the front, which doesn't snag on any material when it goes up or down. The fact that it's a two-way zip is a right touch, because when you do get that call of nature, you've got easy access to your terminal tackle. The zip is then covered by a storm flap, which gives you more protection and stops any potential wind sneaking through that zip and giving you a chill. The zips on the side pockets of the jacket are basically the same, and again protected by waterproof seams. The inside of the pockets are just next level, because again they've got this really nice warm and cozy chanteuse fleece lining, and now I know why Catchdry call them hand warmer pockets. Each side of the jacket has these side slits, which is why I've been able to move around so freely without any restrictions when I'm sitting on my bed chair, casting out or bending down and putting the rods back on the buzz bars. Now this jacket comes in with a 20,000 hydrostatic head waterproof rating, which is a lot higher than a lot of the bivvies currently out there on the market. And I can guarantee that this jacket from Catchdry is certainly going to put a dent in a lot of companies' winter clothing sales. Now for more information about these jackets from Catchdry, then pop over to their website, which is www.catchdry.com, where you can check things like price, sizing guide, colours and patterns that they come in. But before you go over there, please give our video a thumbs up, subscribe to CARPology TV if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next one.